guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. What prompted me to make this video was my December shop my stash items that were just sitting in this red basket here. And I was like, okay, either I need to put those away or I need to make a video about them because they're just kind of sitting here and I need to make a decision. Am I going to talk about these, review them with you guys, or am I going to actually just put them away and like never review them ever again because we want to move on with our lives? We'll be discussing these and how I feel about them, if I still like them. But in addition to that, the Shop My Stash series that I've been doing on my channel for about a year and a half, what's going to happen going forward with that, and if I still like doing Shop My Stash videos. Let's get into it. All right, so back in December, oh my gosh, if I can even like rewind back that far, I picked out a couple of blushes to use, one being the Laura Geller. This is the Tartufo Blush. There is a glare. I have to film these at night, so if it looks a little grainy and the lighting's a little weird, I'm sorry. It's very natural looking, and I wasn't sure if it like turned up on me, if I liked it or not. I like this and appreciated it very much for the fact that it is very natural looking. While it's not one that looks very exciting in the pan, I do appreciate that it's that kind of a blush. Yeah, I don't have too many blushes that are in this shade range. I do appreciate that about this. I pulled out the Bobbi Brown Pale Pink blush. It's supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek kind of name, I think, because obviously this is nowhere near pale. It's a very bright pink. I love this blush. It is just one of my favorite blushes. It's so fun because it's so bright. So these were definitely contrasting to each other, but that's why I kind of enjoyed that month of wearing blush, because I could go back and forth between the two. I pulled in a bunch of gel eyeliners. These are by L'Oreal, by the way. They're the L'Oreal lacquer liners. They're 24-hour infallible line. So one is dark brown, one is gray, one is navy, and I also pulled in a MAC Waveline, a MAC Waveline eyeliner. This one is just a violet blue shade. These worked, like they were fine, but I don't know how I feel about like gel liners overall. Like they definitely did the job. They were usable, but I almost prefer just using shadows for eyeliner or just a regular eyeliner. So, I mean, I don't think I'm going to declutter these just yet. I do love the packaging of the L'Oreal ones. I think that's so pretty. Like, it's kind of weighty a little bit. It is glass and the silver is pretty and it does look very luxe. So I appreciate a nice luxe looking item, but I don't know at this point if they're just like taking up space in my collection or if I actually find a lot of value in them either. So I don't know. I will keep using them until I'm over it, and then if I decide that they're not really worth the space in my collection, maybe one day I'll declutter them, but I'll just keep riding them out until I get absolutely sick of them, and we'll see where we go from there. But for now, they're okay. They're okay. I also pulled in this Super Fun Night palette to use back in December. This came as a set of 3, and I always thought I enjoyed this palette enough because it is a pretty neutral palette and easy to travel with. It has, your black for an eyeliner, which I can always use a black eyeliner, a highlighter, and some like taupey, shimmery browns. Theme of it is definitely very holiday, and there's like some shimmer in there, but this wasn't the palette that I was really excited to put on my eyes. I thought it was a little bit boring, underwhelming. Like, I don't even think they turned up all that great. I mean, mind you, I didn't wear this like a ton of times, but I was just kind of like, like it wasn't really that fun for me to put on. It was just okay and usable. It's usable for the sake of using an eyeshadow, but not something that I was that excited about, which I was kind of surprised about it because I thought I liked it a little bit more than that. So that is something I want to make note of. This is a really old eyeshadow palette from like the end of 2016. Like, I think that's how old this is, but I did declutter one of the other palettes that are in this little set here, so I don't know. This might be the next one to go. I'm not going to declutter that yet, but it's just something I want to make a note of. I pulled in Birthday Girl by Colourpop, which is this really pretty glimmery golden color, and this is stunning. I love this eyeshadow, and I actually paired it with Woodwinked by MAC, which I also pulled in. So these two together were like a winning combination. I wore this combo on my eyes when I made my makeup inventory video. That's the video that I was like, ooh, I really like this combination. So I was really excited about that. This Benefit eyeshadow. Now this guy, I didn't really get to wear this as much as I was hoping, maybe like 2 or 3 times. So I don't even remember if I liked it those 2 or 3 times. So That's not good. I think I'm gonna try to use this a little bit more coming up just to test it out. Because it is one of those random eyeshadows. It's by Benefit. I don't believe Benefit makes eyeshadows at all. So it's just older. I always liked this eyeshadow in the past, but I don't know. If I didn't even want to reach for it that much or remember how it looked when I did wear it, I don't know if that's a good sign. So we have to play with that and really figure out what's going on with that. The e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette. This is in Nude Mood. I think that's what it is. I always forget every single time. And this does look very blah. It's a very modest kind of palette, very humble looking palette. There's not anything exciting going on here, but it is a very useful palette, I will say. Some of the shadows in here suck, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the pink one is just trash. It doesn't come off. I don't really like these two down here. Some of these I use for my brows, and some are like blending shades, transition shades, and I like the quality of those shadows. And I still like it, despite my sometimes blah feelings towards it. When I actually use it and pull it out, it's not bad. For lip products, I did like everything. You know, I brought my MAC one in. This is the Viva Glam one. This is a favorite in my collection. I always liked that one. The Cargo one is just another red balmy color, very pretty as well. And I also have Bedtime Flirt by NYX, which I think this actually performed okay. At first I was like, that's why I brought it in the first place, to make sure it worked okay, and it did, so still like that. This one I want to talk about a little bit more though. This one is the Lip Vex Deluxe Sample by Sigma. I guess the shade is Tint. It doesn't matter because I don't think they sell this anymore, but this is actually a really beautiful lip gloss. It's sort of like a melon pink. It's like a really juicy, healthy pink lip gloss, which I haven't used this in a really long time. In fact, let me put some on my lips. Yeah, it's just a really juicy, healthy lip color, and I really like this shade. So while Sigma might not make this anymore, there are a million brands that probably do. So this is a shade I don't want to sleep on. I did have it sitting in my collection like for a long time before I rolled it in. So I need to use this more overall. I need to focus more on stuff like that for lip gloss, like those kinds of colors. I use my new Flower Beauty eyeliner. This is their Forever Wear winged liner that I bought actually in November, like Black Friday, like the week of Black Friday. And really nice eyeliner. This is a lot more of a finer tip than what I'm used to using. I used to use the Physicians Formula Sexy Booster one. This one, definitely more of a finer tip, which I think most people prefer a finer tip so they can like kind of get a more sharp, precise line. And this one is really nice. I thought it held up really well. I don't have a ton of experience with black eyeliner, or black liquid eyeliner at least. So this is new for me. But yeah, I use this a couple times. That's a nice one. Again, I don't have much to compare it to, but I do like that one. I do need to wear it more and like form more of an opinion. But so far, it's pretty nice. This is the, you know, Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer travel size. This is usually what I like to wear this time of the year. It is a little bit lighter, and it's almost questionable if you can even see it on my skin. Like, it doesn't turn up like very dramatic, which isn't a bad thing. Like, that could be a good thing, especially if I'm looking for more like subtle definition and contouring. But yeah, it is one that I don't really use like in the summer too often because it just doesn't turn up when my skin gets a little bit more tan. So it's really nice. Nice product. I know they don't make makeup anymore, so I'm glad I was able to try the small size of that. My favorite highlighter, the Becca Champagne Pop, which we all know, and it's just a great formula. I love this formula. I mean, if you know the Becca brand highlighter, you know what I mean. It's just very smooth. It's just a dream highlighter formula. It's not like powdery and chalky. It's just like a really smooth formula. I love that one. Never getting rid of that one. Oh, in January, I brought in very few things. I didn't film it because I just wasn't really wanting to bring in a ton of stuff anyway. So I figured I'd just pull them in and use them without filming it. So I decided to go with this Glossier Cloud Paint in Dusk. This I really, really like. It is a very, I don't know why I'm looking at myself. I'm not wearing it today. Yeah, it's like a peachier nude type of blush. It is very pretty and natural looking and easy to blend out. And I like that it's a little bit lighter. I have like a very dark Glossier blush that is also really nice, but it's darker. You have to kind of be careful you don't overdo it. This one is a lot easier to not overdo. So brought in this Ulta Soiree lip crayon in January because I wanted something a little bit pinkier to mix in with my very browny type of lip products. I feel like I look very brown today. Like my eyes are brown, my lips are brown, like very 90s. But at times I kind of want to bring a little bit more life to my lips. So I did use this to mix in a couple times here and there. So this is handy for that. It's not like my most excitable lipstick, but it's a very trusty pink color that I like to have. I brought that in a couple times and I appreciate it for that, though. It's like a really good shade of pink, I think, for my skin tone, so I appreciate that. And I also brought in these two eyeshadows for January. One is Shale by MAC. Grayed out purple, almost looks a little bit grayish, and I like to wear it on my crease to deepen that up a little bit, or even just like on my whole lid. And then I also have Gracious by Bareminerals, which if you know my channel, or if you don't know my channel, I have a ton of these Bareminerals eyeshadows, and I want to make sure I use the ones I really like and get use out of those and make sure I like them and check in on those eyeshadows quite a bit because I have too many and I think they're kind of messy. Like they're great eyeshadows, like they're very old school, but they still perform really well. Like the quality is still really good. But yeah, they're older and I have a bunch of them and I'm kind of like, all right, if they're going to stay and stick around in my collection, I better like them all and use them because otherwise they're just taking up a lot of space. But we're happy with that one at least. So now we're going to get into how my Shop My Stashes might be changing around. I've been filming Shop My Stash videos since the middle of 2020. So it's been a good year and a half of filming Shop My Stash videos and intentionally switching out makeup every month and filming that process for you. I really enjoyed being intentional about like switching out my makeup, making sure I was doing that, and getting to all the things in my collection because I have not a huge collection, but you know, a sizable one where it's really easy to pass over things. So this kind of helped me with that, and that was the point. That was the point, not neglecting things. Yeah, and I always liked watching Shop My Stash videos. I thought they were a lot of fun. It was cool to peek into people's collections and like see why they picked what they picked, and that's kind of why I did it too. So towards the end of last year, I was starting to get a little burnt out on the filming of the Shop My Stash videos. I still like to actually shop my stash and rotate things, but the filming of it felt a little, not repetitive, but kind of, yeah, repetitive. I have the same makeup all the time, which is good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I personally felt like I don't have a huge collection. Nothing changes a whole lot unless I've decluttered things. So in size, like the shrinking part of it, yeah, that changed quite a bit. But in terms of filming it, I just felt like I was always pulling in the same stuff. I noticed a pattern where like every time it was February, I would pull in like pink lipstick or red lipstick. And I just felt like I was getting kind of tired of looking at my collection through a filming lens, like that way. Just feeling like it was kind of starting to become a little bit of a drag to make the videos. I still love watching people's Shop My Stash videos, so this is not about like watching them necessarily. It's just my own filming of it. I feel like when people make these videos, everything's kind of like nicely lit and they have nice drawers and everything's kind of just easier to film. And for me, it's like a little bit more difficult and more of a process. The actual process of pulling out my bins, like my makeup collection is kind of in a corner over there, and it's not great lighting, so therefore I have to pull them out, each thing, which doesn't mean I'm never going to make those videos again, but it did factor into like my fatigue doing those types of videos. Yeah, and also I did it monthly. A month is not the shortest amount of time, but it started to feel a little too frequent between when I would film them. Towards the end of last year, I was starting to be like, oh gosh, I have to film my Shop My Stash video. And I just felt like, yeah, it was kind of just a lot of the same makeup that I was showing you guys. From your point of view, it might not seem like repetitive because, you know, you're on the other side of it. You don't see this collection every single day of your life. Maybe you don't watch every month, so it might not seem as repetitive to you guys. I don't know, let me know. But for me, it's just started feeling like, yeah, like I just was showing the same stuff over and over again and pulling out the similar kinds of things like for 2 years. Like it wasn't like I was adding anything exciting to the mix. That's why I think I'm going to be kind of modifying how I do Shop My Stash videos, at least for now. I don't think I'm going to do them every single month. I might pull in products every month, but just not film it. every month. Also want to take a more intuitive, like organic approach to how I cycle my makeup out instead of just like every beginning of the month, like clockwork, pull in 6 shades and then shut my case and then that's it for the month. I kind of want to just go with what I feel like wearing at any given day. Like I might want to wear this color one day or, you know, this shade. But this past month, normally I pull in like 5 or 6, but I just wanted to pull in very few, mainly because I have a lot of Project Pan items going. And for me, Project Pan, now that I'm not trying to use products to completion, I'm doing more like usage goals on a lot of eyeshadows. That for me is almost like a way for me to rotate my makeup. Types of Project Pans I'm doing right now are almost like a shop my stash. I'm not trying to use them for longer periods. You know what I mean? I mean, I might use them for longer periods, but they will probably be cycling out a lot quicker anyway. So that's kind of sort of taking the place of a more like definitive monthly shop my stash. So that's what I kind of want to focus on more, is like a more project style rotation as opposed to like a monthly rotation. Again, I am still going to pull in a few things each month, but it's not going to be as cut and dry and an even exchange of like, okay, now it's a new month, it's time to pull in. I mean, I will keep that in the back of my head running, that to keep myself aware that I need to pull new things in, but it just won't look as formal as like an actual video. At least for a little bit. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I honestly only skipped 1 month so far, so all those reasons. I just wanted to keep things a little bit more free-flowing and liberal as opposed to like a very regimented, like, here are your 6 shadows for the month. That worked for a while. I think that was a really great way for me to circulate through my collection for the 1.5 years that I did it. And I needed to do that, but I think my collection is starting to shrink a bit more now too, so I don't feel as obligated to like make sure, I don't feel like all this pressure to get to everything in a timelier manner. I mean, I still, of course, like I said, want to use everything and circulate through my collection because I still have a ton of shadows. It's not like I have like 5 left, so I do need to rotate. It's just the filming of it was getting start to feel a little bit like a drag, right? So that's why I kind of will be taking breaks. I don't not like it. I think it was just becoming a little too much too quickly. You know what I mean? So I don't know how I made a whole video out of this. I don't know if any of you even care about what I'm doing with that. So yeah, that's this update of what is going on with my Shop My Stash videos and my products from all the way back in December, which is crazy. I can finally put these away now. Yeah, so let me know. Do you guys still shop your stash? How frequently do you do it? Do you feel kind of like me, like maybe it's starting to be a little too much sometimes? Hit me up, leave a comment. Definitely consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody.